Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all of you. My name is Muhammad Amirul Aiman bin Muhammad Abdul Razak, and today I will be presenting about food digestion. So let's get started. What is digestion? Digestion is the breakdown of large insoluble food molecules into small water-soluble food molecules so that they can be absorbed into the watery blood plasma. In certain organisms, these smaller substances are absorbed through the small intestine into the bloodstream. Digestion also is a form of catabolism that is often divided into two processes based on how food is broken down, either mechanical or chemical digestion. The term mechanical digestion refers to the physical breakdown of the large pieces of food into smaller pieces which can be subsequently be accessed by digestive enzymes. In chemical digestion, enzymes break down the foods into the small molecules the body can use. Next, this is the digestive system organ, which start from mouth to esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and last one is large intestine. Today, we are not going to talk about digestion in general, but we will specifically talk about apple digestion. So what is the nutrients in apple? There are 5 nutrients in apple. The first one is starch, the second one is sugar, the third one is water, the fourth one is vitamins, and the fifth one is minerals. As you guys know, the first organ of digestive system organ is mouth. So let's see how apple being digested in mouth. First, teeth work hard to chop the apple into small pieces. Then, saliva is produced. This contains an enzyme called amylase, which start breaking down the starch particles in the apple. Salivary amylase breaks apart starches into 2-chain sugar called maltose. Next, this simple sugar will later be broken down further into single glucose molecules that can be used as cellular energy. Next, after food is chewed up and mixed with saliva, it's ready to be swallowed. Our tongue molds and mashes food into a bolus and guides it to the back of your throat. Lastly, as you swallow, the bolus of food is pushed through the pharynx and into the esophagus. So that is how apple being digested in mouth. End of my part. My friends will continue explaining about how apple being digested in esophagus. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Fakiha Sana binti Miftahuddin. In the next part, I will explain about the apple movement throughout the pharynx and the esophagus. Digestion does not take place in this part. However, it acts as a pathway or connection that carries the food to the stomach. After the apple has been chewed and partially digested, it needs to reach into the stomach for further digestion. The apple that has been crushed will turn into a bolus. In order to complete the digestion, it needs to be swallowed. Therefore, the bolus needs to pass through the pharynx and esophagus. As we swallow, the bolus reaches the pharynx, or known as the throat. Pharynx is the part of the digestion tract that gets the food from the mouth. It is made up of muscles that are responsible for swallowing. During the swallow process, as the tongue moves up and pushes the bolus down, the uvula also moves up to close the nasal passage to prevent the bolus from entering it. Then, the bolus triggers nerves that make epiglottis moves downward to protect the trachea. The trachea moves upward to close the windpipe. So, the bolus will not enter it, but it will allow the bolus to enter the esophagus. As the bolus goes down, the top of the esophagus, or named as the upper esophageal sphincter, closes to reduce the backflow of the food from the esophagus to the pharynx. It is important for muscle to work properly in this part, as the pharynx is part of both the digestive system and the respiratory system, and it can lead to many problems such as choking, pneumonia, and even death if the food enters the wrong pathway. Now the bolus will move down the esophagus. As it moves down, the esophagus will experience a series of muscle contraction, or called as peristalsis. Peristalsis is a muscle contraction in tube walls that carries the food to the stomach. When the muscles contract, it constricts the passageway and pushes the bolus down. When the muscle is relaxed, it allows the passageway to open. At the end of the esophagus, there is a lower esophageal sphincter. The lower esophageal sphincter relaxes to allow the passage of food into the stomach, and then closes once the food has passed to prevent the backflow of the stomach content to the esophagus.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my beloved lecturer and my friends. My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Muhammad Pini. Today, I will continue my friend's presentation, which is digestion in stomach. What is stomach? Fun fact about stomach is an adult stomach have a capacity of 75 milliliters, but it can stretch and house up to 1 liters of food over the course of the meal. That's over 10 times to the starting capacity. You don't need to worry about your stomach bursting because your tummy will take each bite in stride and process the full meal over the next several hours. The important role of stomach is they act as a temporary storage. It will crunch the bolus of food to form a chamber. Stomach is the site of protein digestion and it will secrete gastric juice. We continue our discussion about apple. What happened for the apple in the stomach? As we bite, chew and swallow bolus of foods will drop to our stomach. The stomach acts as a storage unit that accepts small package of foods over the course of meal. Large quantity of food can be quickly stored and digested over the long period of time. The stomach is a dynamic organ. It crunches, squeezes, and grinds boluses of foods and mixes them with gastric secretion. Peristalsis continues in the stomach and is the driving force for blending food with stomach acid. Stomach secretion helps make nutrients available for absorption later in the small intestine. This digestive juice is powerful hydrochloric acid. It's strong enough to break apart tightly bound proteins into peptide chains, that is, smaller chains of amino acid. It also can eliminate potentially harmful bacteria that may present in some food. Since stomach acid is so potent, its production needs carefully supervision. At the start of a meal, gastric function is just starting to warm up and very little stomach acid will secrete. Peristalsis gently begins stretching and squeezing the stomach in preparation for incoming food. In the middle of the meal, peristalsis and stomach acid revolt. Gastric secretion are at an all-time high mid-meal. This means the muscular stomach is rapidly mixing food and drink with hydrochloric acid. This ensures plenty of foods in which to break down each bite of food. After food is liquefied, it is referred as a chamber. Peristalsis will help you to pump the chamber into the small intestine. Once your meal is over, stomach acid secret comes to a halt, but there may be excess acid. When too much gastric juice remains in the stomach after a meal, irritation of the stomach lining can occur. So, to protect itself, stomach adjusts the acidity production to stay healthy and keep our stomach comfortable. Stomach contraction continue until all the chamber will enter the small intestine. Lastly, I will pass my presentation to Haiza to continue the next stage of digestion. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening to my beloved lecturer, Miss Fatia, and my fellow friends. My name is Haiza Humaira binti Hashim, and today I would like to present about digestions focused on small intestines. As we all know, the digestions started at mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and end with large intestines. So, let me explain to you on how the apple being digested in small intestines. Before we go further, let me introduce you the small intestine in our body. Small intestines plays the most significant role in digestive process, and small intestine also have its own primary role, which is nutrient absorptions. As we can see at the right top picture, small intestine have three sections, which is duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. How do small intestines works in digestions? The wall of the small intestines make digestive juice or enzymes that works together with enzymes from the liver and pancreas to do the digestion. Let's see at right down of the slide. There are picture of cross sections of small intestines. What is villi? Villi is the densely packed carpeting soaking up every usable nutrient inside. The functions of villi is to increase the surface area of the small intestine due to the presence of villi and microvilli that are exposed to the intestinal lumen. All the nutrients are absorbed through the villi and transport to the bloodstreams. As we can see at the right picture, the core of each vidus contains a network of blood vessels and a small vessel of the lymphatic system called a lacteal. The enormous microvillar surface is an adaptation that greatly increases the rate of nutrients absorptions. Let's go back to the apple. When the chyme enters the duodenum, the first segment of the small intestine, the pancreas and the gallbladder are stimulated and release juice that aid in digestion. This fluid consists mostly of water, but it also contains bicarbonate ions that neutralize the acidity of the stomach, derive chyme and enzymes that further breakdowns of protein, carbohydrates and lipids. So, for the digestion of an apple, enzymes carbohydrates in duodenum complete the breakdown of starch into sugar particles, then the sugar can be absorbed since it already in a small particles. Next, the fur and stomach secretion cocktail or chyme enters the small intestine and mixes with water and other digestive juice like bile. Bile is critical in the digestion of fats into free fatty acids. Bile is composed of water, salts, acid, and lipids. It is a medium in which fat and fat-soluble vitamins can dissolve and be carried into the bloodstream via the villi. Bile also contains bilirubin, a yellow-orange pigment released by red blood cells as they break down. Our body can't metabolize bilirubin on its own, so it relies on bacteria to help out. We also get some help breaking down our food. Microbes in our small intestine do a lot of work to help make fatty acids available for later use. They work alongside secretions from the pancreas called protease that help digest proteins. Protease break apart complex protein into peptide chains, then further into the individual amino acids. Now, glucose molecules, amino acids, and free fatty acids are available to be absorbed into the bloodstream through the villi. So, at the end of the digestion in small intestine, which is at the ileum, vitamins and minerals are absorbed into the bloodstream by villi. The digested nutrients pass through the absorptive cell of the intestine via diffusions or special transport protein. Monosaccharides, sugar, are transported from the intestinal cell into capillary. So, that's all from me. The next stage of the digestion will be explained by my friends, Hani.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning to my beloved lecturer, Ms. Fatia. My name is Nur Yasmin Hani binti Ramli. I'm going to continue my friend's presentation, which is I'm gonna explain about the digestion of an apple in large intestine. Firstly, let's see on the left side of slide. This is the diagram of our large intestine. We start with cecum, and then ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and lastly is rectum. Okay, it should be at the anal here. Okay, in this slide, I'm gonna tell you guys what happened in large intestine. First of all of the undigested material will pass to the large intestine. Okay, apple mostly consists of fructose, fiber, and water. Water will be absorbed in large intestine and fructose will absorb in small intestine. And the question is, what happened to fiber? Okay, fiber will be eliminated because our body does not have function to digest fiber. Okay, since fiber cannot digest, so it will go to large intestine. But fiber has various of function, which is it will reduce the bad cholesterol in our body. How fiber will reduce cholesterol in our body? All our fats will be digested at our bile. So fiber will bind with bile that contain fats and excrete it by our stool. So our blood cholesterol will reduce. And next is elimination process will happen where bacteria will do fermentation to the undigested material like fiber and produce stool by absorbing water. Okay, and lastly, the stool will leave our body. Okay, in this part, when the stool want to leave our body, it need a little momentum, which is is a bowel movement, is very necessary for our body to expel the stool, and the stool will come out from the anal. Okay, that's all for the digestion of an apple in our body. Okay, the conclusion of our presentation today is I'm going to explain roughly of the digestion in our body. Okay, when we eat an apple, firstly it will enter our mouth and our teeth will chew the apple into small pieces, and salivary glands will make saliva, which is an enzyme, and it start chemically to break down the apple, and muscle constriction will push the bolus into esophagus. In esophagus, the bolus will move secara peristalsis and it will goes into the stomach. In stomach, the stomach will churn the food and it makes with hydrochloric acid and it turn into a goopy soup. Okay, after that it will enter a small intestine. In small intestine, the absorption of fructose will happen and all of the nutrients of apple will absorb in small intestine. And then the undigested material will goes into large intestine, and in large intestine the absorption of water will happen, and lastly the stool will goes into rectum and rectum will remove the stool out from our body. Okay, that's all of our presentation today. If you have any question, feel free to ask us. Thank you.